This case was like no other case that we've ever dealt with.
Republican and U.S. Senate candidate Eric Greitens is claiming victory once again after the St. Louis Circuit Attorney admitted missteps for her handling of the 2018 criminal case against the former governor. A state panel reprimanded Kim Gardner for failing to disclose information to Greitens' attorneys, misrepresenting evidence, and other violations. Gardner accepted the reprimand and will not be disbarred. Now, that is just one of many stories involving Eric Greitens as he fights for a seat in the U.S. Senate and one of the many issues we're following this week. Let's get started with our roundtable of journalists. We bring back Jason Hancock, editor-in-chief of the Missouri Independent, and KMBC9 political reporter Michael Mahoney. All right, let's get to it, gentlemen. Jason, again, after a rough month, Team Greitens is looking for a win, but there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, they've been kind of waiting for this hearing for months now, trying to claim their exoneration from all the 2018 charges that he faced. And Kim Gardner admitted during her hearing that there were some problems, but she said that those were not intentional, they were accidental, and they didn't impact the former governor's right to a fair trial. It was an agreement that was reached with the chief disciplinary officer, and so it was recommended to that disciplinary panel that she receive a reprimand but not lose her law license. And if she lost her law license, she wouldn't have been able to be the prosecutor in St. Louis City any longer. So it's a win for her because she gets to continue to serve in the role that she was elected to serve. And it's a PR win for Eric Greitens, who can claim, look, there were issues with this prosecution. It's what I've been saying all along. And it comes just a couple weeks after the investigator she hired pled guilty to perjury. And so it is a couple of wins. I don't know that it overshadows the mountain of other things that he's been facing over the last month, though.
Well, that's the point. Mahoney, how's the Senate race shaping up with this mountain of Greitens headlines? Is he losing steam?
Yeah, it's costing him in the polls. There's no question about that, Cody. There are a set of polls out now that show that Greitens is taking some hits in his polling, and that Vicky Hartzler and Eric Schmidt are the beneficiaries of this. There's a poll out that we talked about from Missouri Scout and Remington Research recently that had basically a four-way tie when you throw the margin of error in there between Eric Greitens, Vicky Hartzler, Eric Schmidt, and undecided. They were all bunched within 4 or 5 points of one another. The Hartzler campaign has a poll out now that says that she's in the lead in this. There's a poll from Trafalgar that also shows that it's very, very tight. And there's been a whole spat of articles in the last week in the national political press about the Greitens fade and what's going to happen there. Greitens, for himself, is saying, look, he continues to dominate the race. However, that's not being backed up by what's happening in the field. And what I mean by that is that a Greitens super PAC that supports him has now put up 2 attack spots against Vicky Hartzler in the last couple of weeks, one of them just this past week, and they've also earlier put one up against Eric Schmidt. And that's a sign of a campaign that is concerned about people and opponents gaining ground on them. So it's a close race right now. This campaign is now fully engaged in every respect, and the August primary is just 4 months away. It's not a lot of time in politics.
That's right. Yeah, it's just a heartbeat. Jason, let's turn to Jeff City now. A Senate committee last week approved a bill that could potentially overturn Medicaid expansion. Walk us through what's happening.
Yeah, this is something that obviously Republicans have been trying to do for a while now. They fought Medicaid expansion for the better part of a decade, trying to keep it from happening. Voters took matters in their own hands, enacted it. The legislature came back and tried just not funding it, but a Supreme Court decision said that wasn't legal, that they had to put the money in there, that these were benefits that were entitled to these people now. And so now they've got a new ballot measure that they want to put forth that would allow the legislature, would give them constitutional permission to basically decide how much to fund it year to year. Right now, it's a program that if you qualify, you get it, and then the legislature has to pay for that. They're going to try to change it to where each year they can sort of dictate the eligibility and the funding, and therefore, as they would frame it, manage the costs of Medicaid, which have obviously been growing every year. But a lot of folks, including a lot of Republicans, say, look, the voters just did this. And we do this all the time where we come back and try to go over their shoulder and tinker with the changes that they made. And they only made them because we drug our feet for so long. And it's just it's undermining faith in the system.
Right, Mahoney, let's talk about Kansas. Governor very busy with vetoes and bill signings, including a bill now signed into law banning so-called sanctuary cities, which is a big Republican talking point.
Yeah, she signed the bill into law. Some expected her to veto it, but the Kansas legislature had a veto-proof majority and would have overridden that. She has disappointed immigration rights advocates big time on this. And the offshot of this is this was an effort by the Kelly administration and the Kelly re-election campaign to try and take the immigration issue off the table. In the process, however, what they may have done is they've really angered some of their immigration rights supporters, and the impact of that may be they might be less enthusiastic to go to the polls and support Kelly in the fall, and she's going to need every vote out there because she's running for re-election in a generally Republican state in generally a Republican year.
It's going to be an uphill battle for sure. Michael Mahoney, Jason Hancock, thanks so much. We'll leave it there for this week.